Studies from the 1980s and 1990s on emotional neglect, including work by John Gottman and Sue Johnson, revealed that kids constantly told to not stand out or better stay quiet are 35 to 40% more likely as adults to avoid situations where they might be noticed or judged. Imagine this: you're little, raising your hand in class or excitedly sharing something at home with sparkling eyes, and suddenly you hear, "Shh, don't draw attention," or "Quiet down, don't make a scene." Those aren't just words, they're a clear signal. Being visible equals risk. Risk of mockery, irritation, rejection. Now look at your life today. How many times have you passed on an idea because "I don't want to stand out"? That's not humility. It's an old survival tactic that once shielded you from pain, but now just keeps you tucked away in the background.
Quote from attachment theory researchers, Bowlby and followers: "A child taught to remain unnoticed develops a fear of visibility as a way to preserve connection." In families where "better stay quiet" was a frequent line, kids quickly learned, if I'm bright, loud, or noticeable, I might get pushed away, rejected, or punished with silence. You learn to shrink, become smaller, to hold on to love, or at least safety. Interesting side note, people with this background often gravitate toward partners or friends who also prize quiet harmony, where no one demands too much spotlight. In ethically non-monogamous or polyamorous setups, where openness and multiple connections are encouraged, the fear of being too noticeable tends to fade faster because visibility shared among several people feels normal, not like a threat to belonging. Ever catch yourself in a group suddenly going quiet, even when something important is burning inside to come out?
Neuroscience gives it teeth. Chronic suppression of self-expression in childhood ramps up activity in the prefrontal cortex, self-control central, while dampening areas tied to feeling worthy or significant. Being forced to not stand out wired your brain to link attention with potential shame. Maybe you got laughed at for being too energetic or simply ignored when trying to be yourself. Over time, it turns automatic. Better fade into the background than risk humiliation. Folks with this history often excel in behind-the-scenes roles, assistants, analysts, the ones who do the work but never step into the light. The cost? A nagging sense that your real gifts don't truly matter. Do you ever have a brilliant idea but bite your tongue, afraid people will think you're showing off?
Longitudinal studies on childhood emotional neglect, Runyon and others, 2000s, show that adults raised with the "don't attract attention" rule have about 28% higher social anxiety, specifically around public self-expression. You might have seen parents or teachers praise the obedient, quiet kids while shutting down the lively ones. Lesson learned: visibility equals punishment. Invisibility equals reward. You mastered being convenient, but inside a hollow feeling builds. Here's a twist. In ethically non-monogamous dynamics, where relationships rest on openly discussing desires and boundaries, people often grow more comfortable being seen without panic, because attention flows to multiple connections at once, and no one fears taking too much space. Think about your last time posting something personal or speaking up. Why did it take so long to gather the courage just to share?
Research from the 2010s on chronic shame found that fear of being truly seen often stems from childhood, where self-expression got equated with selfishness or danger. "Don't be so noticeable" isn't about modesty, it's about control. The child learns their real emotions, opinions, desires are too much, too loud, too risky. Eventually, it solidifies into, "If people see the real me, they'll reject me." People like this dodge leadership, public roles, even neutral profile pics.
But on the flip side, you will not believe it. In communities where multiple loving relationships are normalized, like polyamory, shame around wanting too much or needing too much attention dissolves quicker because love isn't a scarce resource to be rationed. Ever felt guilty just for craving a moment in the spotlight?
Studies on fear of success show people raised to stay small sabotage their own wins 30 to 35% more often. You might have watched someone in the family or class get cut down for standing out and decided better not risk it. That creates inner tug-of-war. Part of you wants to shine, another hides to dodge the blow. Adults with this pattern pick jobs where their contributions stay unseen or relationships where they don't ask for much room. In ethically non-monogamous structures where several partners can simultaneously value and nurture different parts of you, the terror of taking up too much space eases because the space for being seen actually grows. Remember times you were inches from a big win, then pulled back at the last second? Recent trauma therapy insights, including complex PTSD and visibility wounds, show constant better stay quiet tunes the nervous system to treat any chance of being noticed as a threat. You might feel it physically, heart racing, palms sweating when you need to present, or simply say, "Here I am." That's not personality, it's a learned response to old danger. Interestingly, in polyamorous or open dynamics, where openness and multiple bonds encourage being seen from every angle, people frequently report less anxiety around visibility because being a lot becomes standard, not scary. At work or with friends, do you ever sit thinking, better keep quiet, let others talk?
A recent meta-analysis on self-esteem and childhood messages about visibility, 2020's data, concludes ongoing fear of being noticed cuts life satisfaction by 18 to 22% because you live at half strength. You grew up with better stay quiet drilled in, turning you into a pro at fading away. But maybe it's time to ask, what if being seen isn't the end, but the start of something real? In therapy, people learn to claim space without apology, and their world opens up. This isn't about turning into the loudest person tomorrow. It's small steps, saying what you feel, sharing the idea, letting yourself be noticed. And in relationships where love isn't capped at one person, those steps feel easier because attention doesn't get taken away, it multiplies. After all, staying small once kept you safe, but you're not a kid anymore. Maybe it's time to step out and take up the space that's always been yours.